It's a long-held belief that there's a direct corollary between poverty and crime, but is it actually true? Hi, I'm Jack Razmich with Razmich & Associates, and today we're going to talk about how economic depressions impact criminal behavior. How does an economic crisis affect criminal behavior? Well, economists and criminologists have been debating the question for decades with no clear answer. Popular wisdom assumes that hard economic times bring a spike in crime under the theory that desperate people will turn to crime more readily and to illegal means to support themselves or their families out of frustration. But statistics don't necessarily bear this theory out. Let's take a look at two thoughts on this and see what they show us. The first theory is that economic depression actually equals less crime. Many researchers examining the historical correlation between U.S. crime and the economy found that crime often decreases during tough economic times and rises during economic booms. For example, numerous analyses have shown that during the Great Depression, the United States' worst economic downturn to date, overall crime rates steadily decreased after an initial surge of violent crime at the start of the period. Crime rates continued to fall even as 68% of Americans were at or below the poverty line in the late 1930s. Data analyzing the Great Recession of the late 2000s, when unemployment was again high and economic growth was sluggish, do show a similar trend. The FBI Uniform Crime Report showed that both violent and property crimes decreased each year between 2007 and 2010, which continues a trend that began in the late 1990s. By contrast, studies have shown that periods of economic booms can have high criminal rates. The 1920s was a period of both great economic prosperity and very high crime. Similarly, even as the economy flourished after the Second World War, crime increased steadily throughout the 1950s and the 1960s. As always, there are other points of view. Some researchers say that these analyses only tell part of the story. Even though overall crime during economic recessions does tend to decrease, there is evidence that specific crimes may increase during certain periods of a financial crisis. For example, during the first few years of the Great Depression, violent crime actually surged. It only began to die down after 1934 when President Roosevelt initiated an anti-crime package and passed the New Deal economic programs. Similarly, at the start of the Great Recession, 44% of police agencies saw a spike in robbery, burglary, and motor vehicle theft. The offenses began to dwindle in most but not all places as the recession continued. Other experts believe that examining the overall crime rate is not exactly the right measure. These researchers have found that consumer perception of the state of the economy highly correlates with rising crime rates, particularly economically motivated crimes such as robbery or property offenses. In other words, crime may rise when consumers perceive economic hardship, even if the general economy is doing well. One thing that is clear, the issue is hugely complex. It's going to take a significant additional study to determine how the economy affects criminal behavior, and more importantly, why. One thing that does not change, whether it's an economic boom or an economic depression, is that if you are accused of a criminal offense, you need a competent and qualified attorney standing in your corner fighting for you. The attorneys here at Razmich & Associates are prepared to make sure that your case is properly managed and properly heard, and that we're fighting for you for the best possible outcome on it. If you or a loved one has been accused of a criminal offense, give us a call today at 317-983-5333 for your free case evaluation. That case evaluation is free, and it always will be. That telephone number again, 317-983-5333, and I look forward to the opportunity to speak with you. If you like that video, please remember to like and subscribe. If you really like it, please consider sharing this on the social media platform of your choice. Here at Razmich & Associates, we are lawyers ready to fight. The more eyes that we're in front of, the more people we can fight for. The more people we fight for, the freer we all are. If you have a question or a video topic that you would like me to cover in the future, please drop it in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.